Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of the Sunflounder Chronicles. I am Brohammington, joined with...
Ahoy! I'm Jesse, or Jester Dujour, as you can find online.
Online is a good place to look up for us.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I like your hat, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Lovely.
I very much like your whole thing you've got going on.
I got an eye patch.
Uh-huh.
No, not for any medical reason.
Right.
But
well, we're sailing now.
We're sailing.
Yes.
We're on the Azurite Sea.
Yes, the Azurite Sea. All aboard. That's a train.
All aboard who's going aboard. Oh, man. That's funny.
Yeah.
We've had a fun past couple weeks with Lorcana.
Yeah, we have.
We had the movie tournament.
Yes.
And
movie tournament, which was really fun.
That was a lot of fun.
Real quick though, I'm going to cut you off,
okay.
Although you started a great flow there. If you're brand new to us, hi. Again, we're part of the Sunflounder Illumineers. This is our podcast.
Yes.
I guess. Episode 2.
Episode
now
2.
Is what we're on.
Yes.
Hit like, hit subscribe, all that.
Comment and follow.
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now that I did that distraction, what was it you were talking about?
The movie tournament.
The movie tournament. Yeah, we had that. It was great.
It was. And I really liked how you chose your deck for it. You had 4 decks picked out.
I did. I could not decide what deck I wanted to run.
I seen that.
What deck I even wanted to build. And so, yeah, we built 4 of them.
I seen the 2.
Yes.
What were the... So tell me what you played.
Yes, so what I played... for those not in the know, we talked about it on an earlier episode.
We did.
We recently had a movie tournament where the only rule for the deck, for building your deck, was everything had to be from the same movie. Ink color did not matter anymore.
Correct. Right.
Obviously, you still have to have, no more than 4 copies of a card.
Right.
All that and everything. But the main thing was everything has to be from the same movie or property or series or whatever.
Yes.
So I took and played a Great Mouse Detective deck. Because that is my favorite Disney movie.
Absolutely.
Basil of Baker Street is my favorite. One of my absolute favorite characters. Especially from when I was growing up.
Sure.
So I took Great Mouse Detective. The other 3 that I had built up there was a Moana deck.
That was what Amber played.
That my wife played.
Yes.
There was a... Oh no.
Aladdin?
Don't let me forget. There was an Aladdin deck.
I don't know what the 3rd one was.
And then the 4th one...
4th one.
Was... Oh man, I can look it up. I might look it up later on, because now I can't remember.
Right. We got the 3 important ones.
We got the 3 most important ones.
Right.
Which again, Great Mouse Detective, because it's the best movie. Moana, because it's great.
The second best movie.
Aladdin. Oh, Little Mermaid. That was the other one.
Okay,
because all 4 of my decks...
Right.
Sorry. All 4 of my decks were based off of movies directed by Musker and Clemens.
Okay.
They were... Same team did all 4 of those.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's neat.
Yeah, just a neat little thing.
Right. So how did the Great Mouse Detective perform for you?
Not great.
Sure, but
I had a good time.
But you had a good time.
I had a great time playing.
So it ultimately performed well enough for you to have a good time.
It did exactly what I wanted it to.
Sure. Which
was provide me the opportunity to have fun playing all of the different inks.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
All of that.
That
was fun. An entirely different experience.
Sure.
Now, remind me.
Yes.
You brought something ridiculous.
I did.
If I remember correctly.
I did. I played... So, in the previous podcast, I was very high on playing Elsa. or
Yes.
Frozen.
Yes.
I was gung ho about it.
Mm-hmm.
There was one thing that changed my mind.
Mm-hmm.
I went on to Dreamborn Inc. to look through the cards, and
Great website.
Great website, by the way. Highly recommend.
Amazing service.
Yes.
Legitimately don't know how I would play Lorcana without it.
It's very well designed.
Yeah.
So I went on there, and you can filter the cards by franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of people know that.
Right.
So I was looking at the different franchises, and I stumbled upon this movie called Tangled.
Oh yeah,
I guess
I've
it
heard
has.
of
I guess it has this Flynn Rider guy.
Oh yeah.
Arguably one of the best characters in Disney.
Okay.
I'll
let you argue that.
So,
Flynn Rider's great.
So I've learned from my granddad that if you put arguably in front of everything, then you're not ever completely wrong.
I thought you were going to say you learned from your granddad that Flynn Rider was Disney's greatest character, and I was going to have to learn more about your granddad.
I think, I'm not sure what my granddad's favorite character is.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll ask him one day.
There we go.
But no, so I built Tangled, and it was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
Like just the healing synergy, like the Rapunzel's with all the healing synergy is what I was really going for.
Right.
And it worked very well.
Let's say you've got those. You've got that revive card.
Yes, the revive card was actually pretty good.
Came in pretty nice.
Yes.
From what I saw.
So, I can revive my Rapunzel that's in the graveyard.
Yeah.
Or a Maximus or something. The 5-drop Maximus was really good too.
That bodyguard Max.
he's
pretty good.
He's a long forgotten about card.
Yes.
But R.I.P. the homie, right?
Yeah.
No, but it was a lot of fun. And then my wife played Lion King.
Yes.
Which was also, that deck was cooking.
Yeah,
that's cooked me up and served me with a side of eggs.
It probably shouldn't surprise anyone that the Lion King has some great cards and an amazing deck.
Very strong deck. It was the full hyena package was nuts. Mm-hmm. It was pretty good.
Yeah,
but I believe that Hercules actually took first place.
That is, from what I remember.
Yes, I think it was Hercules, Lion King.
Hercules, mostly like a Titans
deck.
Yeah. Let's say.
Yeah, it was a Titans engine that was very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the movie theme tournament.
That was the movie theme tournament. Definitely loved doing something that wasn't, and I think we'll get to it here in a little bit later on as well.
Sure.
Something that wasn't just the classic constructed tournament.
That's what, and that's kind of been our theme here locally. Is like towards at the end of like set champs, at the end of the DLC.
Right.
We take a break from the meta stuff and we do something fun to kind of cleanse the palate.
Exactly. Exactly.
So just like kind of just a fun thing to do to transition into the next set.
Right. Yes.
So that.
So definitely want to do that again.
Yes.
I'm trying to think. Have we started talking at all about like other sort of trying to do different themed things?
So I do believe the next one that I want to do before the end of the year is a royalty deck, a royalty theme deck.
Ooh.
And
the King's just got a sensor core as well.
Yes. So we have a King sensor core and a Queen sensor core, so that'd be pretty neat. But so I want to make it to where all of the characters in your deck have to be of royal descent.
Okay.
So on the card subtype, it would have to say
you need to have King, Queen, Prince, Princess.
Right.
Okay. Still allowing for like any
colors.
Non-character card.
Yeah, you can still have non-character cards. Mm-hmm. And those don't have to be movie specific.
Right.
So I mean that way Just because something...
That way you still have plenty of variance.
Right.
If you start putting too much restriction on it, then...
It becomes not so fun.
Right.
But I'm leaning towards not having a color restriction on that one either.
That makes sense. Especially considering... And I'm trying to think through... You could probably do... Especially if you're doing royalty decks, you could do other colors, but like if you're doing specifically princesses...
Right.
It's... Unless you open it up, it's going to be Amber and Sapphire.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes, and Amber Sapphire doesn't have a lot of like answers to the board state in it.
Right.
And you kind of need to be able to interact with what your opponent's trying to do too.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. So, there's that one that I'm thinking about, and there's also another kind of like a chaos kind of thing, to where there's no restrictions and no ink color. Your only restriction is 4 copies of a singular card in a deck.
That seems...
Silly.
That seems very silly and very easily abused.
Yes.
And I am here for it.
It would be one of those things where you don't know what you're playing against.
There's no telling what you're playing against.
You have no idea what's in the deck. You have
Man.
no idea what to play around.
Yeah.
It would just be a load of chaos.
That sounds like, honestly, both my nightmare and my dream. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. It's one of those things where you don't know whether to laugh or cry.
Right.
so that's another one that I have in mind, and outside of that, outside of those two, I haven't really put much thought into a third one. Or a fourth one, rather.
Right.
Because the movie theme is something that the local community has wanted for a while.
Yes.
So...
And especially, I think the movie theme is something that we can keep doing, because especially with each set that comes out, there's more and more options.
Right. Now we have a full Baymax movie that you can do.
Right. With this set, you can do a full Big Hero 6 deck. You could do... I believe this set makes Treasure Planet a viable deck. I believe you finally now have enough cards.
Enough cards to do that.
There's Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh could be a real fun deck, especially now.
Especially now, because you just got all the pirates, too.
Yes.
I'd be a pirate. Yeah. So, let's move into Chapter 6. Have you interacted with Chapter 6 at all?
So that's what I was... Yes. So speaking of Set 6...
Yes.
And also speaking of not doing strictly just constructed events...
Right.
I went to... you went to as well. We were both there. We were there. It was my first time playing at a sealed event like that. Where one of our local stores, they did... and it was 6 packs to build a 40-card deck.
Correct.
And again, no color restriction.
No color restriction on it.
That makes things so much easier.
It's so much easier.
So much easier.
Can you imagine getting 6 packs and being limited to 2 colors?
I
don't think you'd be able to play.
Probably not. Probably not.
Not even close.
No. Sorry, you broke me.
Sorry.
It was my first sealed event, doing it like that with those 6 packs.
Sure.
That was a very interesting, very neat way of playing.
Did you like it?
I very much enjoyed.
Yeah? Okay.
Let's say, I was very fond of, up through this set, up until this set, I was very fond of just doing like starter deck tournaments.
Sure.
Where everybody's doing the starter deck, maybe you have a pack or two to kind of alter it a little bit.
Right.
But for the most part, we're all playing mostly the same deck.
Right.
Or 2 decks, I guess, technically. But
you got one or the other.
But this set, with scheduling and with other events going on. Non-Lorcana related events.
We can mention it. You know?
Sure, yeah. Live streaming elder abuse.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, that was.
Sorry, not to get too distracted.
No.
But yeah, since that was going on the one night that there were starter deck events, rather than my wife and I going to that, instead I just went to the sealed event the next day.
Sure.
And that was a little fun. I think I'd rather do that going forward than the starter deck event.
That's kind of where I'm at too. Like, so you're paying X amount of dollars, and you get your 6-packs.
Right.
And then the shop kind of throws in a pack for showing up, And so, I mean, like, you're getting the same amount of stuff. You're getting the same amount of bang for your buck, but you're getting more new stuff.
Yes.
Or more variety of new stuff, rather.
More variety. There's a different, I think, at least to me, a different mental challenge.
Right.
From, and I don't know about you, at least I watch during reveal season. Sure. I love reveal season.
Oh, me too.
As soon as a card's revealed, I'm like writing down the stats into my little spreadsheet to keep track of everything, all of that. And then pretty much the moment that I'm done putting it into my spreadsheet, I forget that card exists.
That's funny.
This new set drops, and I don't really know any of the cards.
That happens.
Doing that sealed sort of thing, and taking the time looking through those packs real quick, and then throwing a deck together. Mm-hmm. Already I feel like I know set 6 a little bit better. Right. Than I would have if it was just the starter deck.
Sure. The other thing to touch on, like the sealed and limited aspect of things, also, shout out to Nerd Corner. He actually does a very good job at a sealed and limited, or sealed and draft.
I had seen that he had posted a video. I was very upset with myself for not taking the time to check it out.
But he does a very good, like, moving forward, he does a very good job at, like, explaining what cards are good in that sort of format kind of deal.
That makes sense.
What stat lines to look for, that sort of stuff. If we did end up doing more sealed and sealed and draft in the future, So that was that thing. So in your 6-packs that you got for sealed, what was your favorite card you got? Because I seen a card that you were playing that I thought was a load of fun. I
think we're thinking about the same card.
From where I was sitting, it looked like a load of fun. But if you were sitting across from it, you want no part of that business.
Right. Okay, we're definitely talking about the same card here. Then that is probably, it's become quite possibly my favorite card of this new set.
Sure.
Is Treasure Mountain.
That card was nuts.
Treasure Mountain is amazing.
That card was so silly. It has 9 willpower.
for those not remembering, it's an uninkable 5-drop location from this new set, Azurite Sea. It has 9 willpower and it costs 2 ink to move a character there. Yes. However, at the start of your turn, you must deal the amount of damage for every... I'm trying to remember the exact way they have it worded. But for every character that is located there, it's 1 point of damage that you must deal to a location or character.
Yes.
So, I mean, if the board is wiped, if the opponent's board is wiped, you have to hit yourself.
Sure.
Fine.
Now remember that treasure planet has 9 willpower.
First off, that. Secondly...
Holy smoke.
More than likely, you're not going up against an empty board.
Right.
Right. But yeah, I was playing that and wound up able to get just 3 characters on there, I believe it was, and pretty much no matter what was laid down... They were toast.
All right. They were toast.
Yeah.
It was pretty silly.
Yeah, it's a very, very fun, very silly card.
I think the only card that's more silly than that was the Assistant Mayor Bellwether card. That card... That card
was frustrating.
I was mad. Like, so in my 6 packs, I pulled a lot of aggro cards.
Right.
There were a lot of low stats. We quest for 2 and 3.
Okay.
That was all my characters.
Yeah.
So... Once I get to 16, and my board gets wiped, and my opponent plays an Assistant Mayor Bellwether,
right,
and I play a character, he would just ink a card, and they give my dude Reckless.
Right, and that's what I was about to say. As a reminder.
Oh yes.
The Assistant Mayor Assistant Mayor Bellwether.
Is a 3
card.
Yes, 3-drop uninkable.
Okay, and she's an emerald card?
Yes, she's an emerald card.
Okay.
She's an uncommon, too, which, for whatever reason, that is a little silly by itself.
So we're going to be seeing a lot of her.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
She's a 2/3 stat line.
Mm-hmm.
And she also says, whenever you put a card into your inkwell, chosen character gains Reckless. So... Let's just say that my
Now is it once per turn?
Oh. No.
Oh!
It's not.
Oh, it's not!
No.
Uh-oh!
So I was trying to play around this thing.
Uh-huh.
So I held 2 cards. And I played them both at the same time.
Right.
And my opponent inks a card. And then plays Sail the Azurite Sea.
Sail the Azurite Sea!
And it gave both of them Reckless. And then quested with the 6-drop uninkable Haiti.
That Sail the Azurite Sea, that's another good card.
That card is silly.
We're going to be seeing a lot of it.
Why is it an uncommon?
I don't know how it works.
So I do like that everyone has access to powerful cards. I do like that. Because it makes it more accessible.
Yes.
It makes it more accessible to where people can play the good stuff.
Right.
However, I don't like that card with Assistant Mayor Bellwether. If I ever see that again, I think I'm just gonna leave. It was a little silly.
Yeah.
But so
at the very least, it's not a song.
It's not thank God.
Can you imagine?
I'm good.
You know what? Actually, I'm sorry for putting that out into the universe.
Yeah, that was oh man, I have flashbacks of it.
I think that's part of what, at least me personally, very much what I'm looking forward to with set 6, is there seems to be a lot of very, as we're saying, silly cards that allow for a lot of different things.
Yes.
That Amethyst Hades.
That card was also really silly.
I think I'm a fan of it. It's the he's uninkable. Is he 4 or 6?
He's a 6-drop uninkable.
He's a 6-drop uninkable.
Right.
He quests for 3.
Yes.
But if
one of your characters is banished, you gain 2 lore.
You gain 2 lore.
Whenever one of your characters gets banished.
No, just throwing this out there.
Yeah. We're here for it.
I think I'm gonna have to try and build, because the more I played it last set, the more I liked it. An Amethyst Emerald deck.
Yes.
Can you imagine?
Amethyst Emerald.
Can you imagine?
Maybe.
Having Hades and Lyle out at the same time.
I think.
Go ahead and banish one of my cards. You'll lose a lore and I'll get 2 off of it.
Yes. So there's when I was
there's got to be a trick to it, but
yes. So when I was playing Magic the Gathering a lot,
okay,
there was a deck very similar to that,
to
where you essentially we call it tax, right?
Right.
You tax your opponent for interacting with your board state. So we called it death and taxes. Because
it's inevitable.
Right, because you have to interact with me, but once you do, you're going to get taxed for it.
Right.
So I think the deck is very viable.
Yeah.
What it looks like, I'm not quite sure. I'd have to mess around with a little bit.
Right.
But
I'm going to start playing with it.
But you are 100% onto something, and I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I like that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So, do you have a deck that you're more leaning to start the season off with? Or a color combination?
Aside from that...
Yes.
Aside from that Amethyst Emerald... actually, this morning, I just got all my cards organized.
Okay.
I was on Dreamboard.
Nice.
Got all my cards put into there. Started kind of maybe building some decks, playing around with some things.
Yeah.
I have already 4 different decks built. None of them are going to be good.
Nothing ever is. Rome wasn't built in a day.
Right.
Rome wasn't.
Right. But and 2 of them. One of them, for example, is like an Amethyst Ruby Pirates deck.
Sure.
Because with all these brand new pirate cards, I have to.
You have, yes, absolutely.
I have to.
It is very good to explore the meta, because
Not
you.
even the meta, just let's have fun with themed decks.
Absolutely, I am very much here for it.
Yeah.
That is why I mess around with microbots.
There we go.
Is it gonna be good?
How many microbots are you up to now?
17-ish.
Uh-huh.
So the pull rates on those things are ridiculous.
They are insane.
I opened up
I definitely found more megabots than microbots.
Yes.
When we were opening a bar stuff.
Yes, I will just say that we opened a healthy amount of boxes, and we only came up with, I think, 13 out of the boxes that we opened.
Yeah.
That's not very many.
We found 4.
Dibs.
Out of what we found.
Dibs.
We'll see. we'll talk.
Yes, but there's a few other decks that I'm messing around with. Blue-green basil discard.
Okay.
Because, who doesn't like a good discard deck?
Right.
Like,
discard deck's always fun.
And I love basil.
Speaking of, sorry, I have to shout it out real quick while we're talking silly cards and discard. A Very Merry on Birthday is a delightful card.
You like that one?
It's a wonderful card.
That was in the deck that you were playing in the sealed event.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I had 2 of them. I found 2 of them in my packs.
What else did you find?
And 1 of that Mad Hatter.
And his teapot.
And the teapot. Yeah.
I think there was a certain game where you actually came very close to milling somebody out.
Yeah.
It's silly.
Yeah. Yeah, Amethyst has a discard route now.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I don't know. I'd have to look at the wording, because if it's putting the card from the top of the deck into the discard, it's not considered discarding.
Okay.
Discarding has to come from your hand. But
listen.
Man,
I'm not a lawyer.
Let's visit your idea of the teapot deck that you were thinking of. The teapot is blue. The blue purple.
Blue purple.
Yep, because the Merlin's Cottage.
Yes.
You want to talk? You want to talk about that for a second?
Sure, we can talk about it.
I like this idea of yours.
So I'm trying to remember what all it was. The main thing is, Merlin's Cottage is that sapphire location.
Right.
You have it out. I believe it's a 1-drop location.
It's a 1-drop location.
You put it out. Everybody's top card of their deck is revealed.
Yes.
At all times. As long as that location's out there, everybody gets to see what card's next.
Right.
Then you've got Mad Hatter's Teapot.
Yes.
That, it's a 2-drop item, exert it, pay 1 ink,
right,
and opponent goes from the top card to the discard.
Yes. So
I think that's great.
It's a bit of fun.
It's even better getting to know that you have a card that I don't want you to have.
Yes.
And getting rid of that.
Absolutely.
Than just, taking the gamble. Because there are other things that you can be doing with ink. than just trying to get rid of cards.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But with that, at least...
You can kind of manipulate your opponent's card draw, though.
Right. You
Which is...
you have a better idea of when it's worth it.
Right. Along with the Mad Hatter.
That Mad Hatter.
So you quest for one. So let's say you see the top card.
Yeah.
You're already looking at it, right?
Yep.
You quest with the Mad Hatter, and you're like, I want that card in your discard.
Yes.
And then they flip over to the next card, and you're like, that card's even worse. Let's get rid of that one, too.
Yep. Yep.
And then you know... Hey. And then you know what your opponent's going to draw for turn.
That's it. Right. You know what he's going to draw, and, you know, if you really start getting worried about it, maybe you don't have Mad Hatter quest. Maybe you have him sing A Very Merry on Birthday.
Oh, that's
Then you're dropping 2 of them off the top.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Or, let's say that it's not that threatening. You can draw that one.
Yeah.
You don't need to discard that this turn.
Exactly.
And then the next turn, you're like, oh.
Oh, no.
Not that.
I see that. Be prepared. No, thank you.
Not that guy.
No.
I like it.
Yeah.
And I'm here for it. One of the other decks that I was working on is I think we are going to do a blue-red build. Not your traditional blue-red now.
Okay.
But we're going to synergize around Baymax and Grandpappy.
Okay.
So
you're doing healing.
We're doing some damages.
So I assume with that, I mean, I would think at least that sounds like a good deck for a Snuggly Duckling.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Because we're playing Teeth and Ambitions.
Fair enough. Instead. So you're doing damage that way rather than off the challenger.
Right. So we can do the new 5-drop Scar that's a 4/2 that has Teeth and Ambitions on a character.
Right. It just has it built in.
Right. So you can go you can go you can play the dude. You can play Scar.
Play Scar.
Deal 2 damage to one of their things and one of your things. And then the following turn, play the Baymax and heal. And then Grandpappy's there too, so then you can challenge and heal and popsicles and heals and stuff along those lines. It's something that I might be messing around with as well.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. One of my favorite cards from my sealed experience was the 4-drop Steel Pluto. That's a 1/5 with Bodyguard. When he has no damage, he gets +4 power.
That is... Yeah.
That card is nuts.
It was very good. It was very good for you in that sealed format.
Yes. I also think it might actually land on a spot in the meta, too.
Yep.
Because not a lot of stuff...
Bodyguard's never bad.
Right. Especially with a big body.
Yeah.
Like, 1/5 is huge.
It's a big body. It's 4...
So it's a 5/5 essentially.
It's coming out turn 4.
Right.
I'm trying to think of other bodyguards that would be replacing. You know what I mean?
I don't quite know.
I can't think of any offhand, but that's just because...
I would have to go back and look at a lot of stuff.
I've been in a very Lorcana heavy mindset last couple days.
Right.
And right now I'm right on the edge of losing all that information for a day and a half.
Sure.
You know?
But a 5/5 bodyguard's not bad.
That's nothing to sneeze at.
No, not at all. And then Rapunzel heals it if it gets damaged.
Fortunately, you know, you don't have to challenge to do damage.
Right. That is very true. Hey, don't tell them the secret.
Right. Right. Sorry. Yeah. That's proprietary information of Sunflower Illumineers.
Right. So it was, I think the sealed event was a lot of fun. Set 6, I think, is going to shake the meta up a bit. Or at least I hope it does.
I definitely hope it will.
Yes.
Just because, variety is the spice of life, and that goes double for games. I think it will definitely have an impact. I don't think at the very least, even if we have the same sort of like deck archetypes
Right.
at the end of this set that we did the last set, it's going to be very different decks within those types.
Yes.
It's not going to be the same cards that we keep seeing. A somewhat common thought from what I've seen.
Right.
This set, aggro's got a chance.
Speaking of which, I think Lilo. Have you seen
Yes.
it? People refer to her as Zombie Lilo.
Yes.
What do you think of that one?
I think that's a very fun card. She comes back from Okay, so we'll just go over the card in general.
Yes. So,
she is an amber card. Obviously.
An amber card.
She is a 2-drop.
2-drop.
Uninkable.
Inkable.
She is inkable.
She is inkable.
Of course she is.
Why wouldn't she be?
Right. 2-drop inkable. She's a 2/3.
A 1/2.
1/2.
Yes.
Okay. 1/2. She quests for 2.
2.
But that's not the important part.
That's not the important part.
The important part is what she does.
Yes. So, she reads at the start of your turn, if she's in your discard, you may play her from your discard. So, you go ready.
During the set phase.
Yes, so it has to go ready, set.
Mm-hmm.
You can pay 2 ink to return Lilo to play exerted.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So you still have to pay for her.
Correct. You still have to pay for it. But the thing is if you're playing...
I don't think I've read that part. She's definitely less intriguing to me now.
Right.
But that's only because I read the card wrong.
Because she's more fair than what you were thinking.
Oh, I definitely thought she just came back for free.
Absolutely not.
Every time.
No, that's a problem.
That would really be a problem.
That's what you call a problem. So, the good thing about it is you play... So, she's going to find a spot in some sort of aggro build.
Right.
She is very good after a Be Prepared, and you top deck... Like, let's say you top deck something that's not very good.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you top deck, like, a song.
Right.
Right? And you're like, oh, well, I don't have anything... I don't have a target for this.
Yeah.
You know? So, you got let's say 2 Lilos in your discard. So you're just like, I'm just going to use my... Well,
let's go ahead and...
Well, so let's back up.
Well, actually, because, you'd have to do it before you draw.
You have to do it before you draw for your turn. So even if you have no cards in hand.
So, okay.
So we're playing aggro.
Go ahead and finish your thing, but I have a hypothetical for you here in a minute.
So, let's say you have no cards in hand, but you have 2 Lilos in a discard.
Right.
Goes to your set phase, you can pay the 4 ink, you just drew 2 cards. Essentially.
Sure, technically.
Essentially. Yeah. So then you draw for turn, and then you're set. You know?
Yeah.
What's your hypothetical?
Alright, so...
We're good at hypotheticals here.
Question for you here.
Answer.
Let's say it's already a month and a half from now, we're in Set Champs.
Yes.
We're at one of our local stores. You're judging.
I'm judging, yep.
Okay.
Okay.
So, I am playing this aggro deck.
You're okay.
Right? I go...
You wouldn't do that.
No, of course not. I go, ready, set, I draw my card.
Uh-huh.
And then I go, wait, I wanted to play Lilo.
You missed it.
Perfect. Okay.
You missed it.
Good.
Missed the window. You already progressed the game forward.
That should be something that, say, if you're playing against that, you need to be ready for judge.
Yes, you do
to be calling.
You do need to be ready for instances of your opponents missing their triggers and trying to rewind the game themselves.
Right.
Because in theory, the judge is the only person that has the power to rewind the game if that instance
to turn back time.
Correct. Correct. But you didn't want to do that kind of deal. Because if you wanted to do that, you would have done that instead of drawing your card.
Right. Right. But you gotta remember you have to remember your phases of the play.
Absolutely. I very much agree with you.
the set phase of Ready, Set, Draw has become so integral to the game now.
Yes.
It started, I think, especially with locations.
Right.
I can't think of any cards, at least that were huge before then, that had at the start of your turn. Okay, Beast was set 2.
Yes, Beast was another one.
And that's technically during set.
Yes.
I think I internalized it as part of the draw phase.
So even...
Because it is just drawing an extra card.
So
but you're correct.
So, here's the other part, and it's a very nitpicky thing.
Okay.
But it can happen, and I've seen it happen, to where a person has a beast on their side of the field.
Okay.
And they say, draw for turn,
draw for beast. It should be the other way around.
Correct.
Right.
Because you can get called on that if you skip the beast draw and you draw for turn. If you announce the order of which you draw it and you ordered it incorrectly, you have essentially a missed trigger.
Okay.
It can happen.
Right.
So, if you are in the habit of announcing which ways you are drawing your cards, you need to make sure that you are announcing them in the appropriate order.
Yes. Personally, if you're not in the habit of saying ready, set, draw as you're going through those phases, get in that habit.
Yes.
Personally, at least.
It helps. It very much helps, especially with players that are newer to TCGs.
While we're on that, and just talking about the different phases, I guess, another thing that I have noticed a lot with Set 6 already, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, there may have been more before Set 6, but nothing springs to mind, but I'm seeing a lot more of the phrase, during an opponent's turn.
Yes.
I love it.
Absolutely. So there was a talk with a game developer that I heard it on a different podcast.
Okay.
A person spoke with a game developer, or a game developer was watching a game or something along those lines, and the person had played a card that, or I think they might have inked something with the Fishbone Quill.
Okay.
Something along the lines where they got to play an additional ink, and it came into play unexerted, but the player exerted it and didn't do anything with the exerted ink. And the game developer said, just for future reference, it might be important to make sure that you keep track of how much ink you have unexerted. I don't know.
Okay.
Take that for what you will.
All right. You heard it here second.
You heard it here second. Yes, but it could be, it could also just be a matter of making sure that the game state is in
it could be something as simple as that, and we could be, trying to...
And I could be
too far into it.
But I could be jumping down a rabbit hole a little too far on it, I tend to do that sometimes.
Right.
But, so yeah, that was an interesting thing that I heard. And it just makes me wonder.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Yeah.
What's going on here?
What's all this then?
What's all this?
Yeah. So Set 6 is out now.
Yes.
I'm trying to think, are there any big... And you're much more plugged into especially the more competitive scene.
Yes.
Of Lorcana.
I love it.
Are there any big tournaments coming up? And is Set 6 legal now?
So I do believe that with a new set, it has to be out for at least 3 weeks before it's legal in a competitive tournament.
Okay.
Or
give everybody time, especially with the big box release happening later.
Right. So.
Okay.
Which makes sense.
Sure.
We do have. Speaking of that, we do have some competitive events coming up.
Okay.
What
do we got coming up?
Let's take a look.
All right.
European Continentals are going to be 7 rounds of Swiss.
This is what we talked about in previous episodes.
Yes.
We already have our locks in.
Yes. You said something.
I believe I said aggro.
You did say aggro.
Was taking.
You said. I think you said.
I believe I said amber amethyst aggro.
I did. Yeah, I think you did.
The more I'm looking at set 6, the more it's a possibility.
It is a very big possibility. But microbots aren't far behind.
The microbots definitely are not far behind. Hey man, I would love nothing more than to see microbots take it all.
Absolutely. So yes. So this is the main event, not the LCQ.
Right.
7 rounds of Swiss in a 2-game format.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's for day 1. And then top 16 will be day 2.
So, sorry, do we know how many people there are that they're starting with?
I don't believe so because they still have to do their LCQ.
Okay.
So we don't exactly know how many people qualify. I don't have that information. I'm sure.
Fair enough.
I'm sure somebody a lot smarter than me can find it.
Well, a lot more tuned in.
Yes.
We'll not say smarter. Just
no, I stand by what I stand by what I said.
A lot more smarter in that specific area of knowledge.
Sure. And then top 16 is going to be best of 3 until finals. Finals being a best of 5.
Best of 5.
Yeah.
Hey,
we got to make.
Can you imagine
playing the? Oh man.
Should we start demanding that at our local stores?
I can talk to the shop owner.
Yeah.
Hey, let's do it. Let's do it.
It'd be crazy.
Let's do it.
No intentional draws allowed.
None. No IDs allowed.
No IDs allowed.
So there are still 32 slots for this event.
Okay.
Which will be assigned during the...
So it's the ones that qualified from the last European Challenges.
Right.
Right. So that's usually, I believe, the top 32.
I think top 16.
It's top 16 from those.
Yes.
The last chance allows for up to 32 more.
Right.
Okay, so we're talking 16 by 4 is 64... plus 32 is 96.
Sure.
So a maximum of up to just shy of 100 players.
Right.
Potentially showing up. And then we're cutting from that to 16.
We're smashing it.
That's brutal.
You better be on top of your game.
You better have it figured out.
You better.
You better not be playing the same deck you were for your European Challenge 6 months ago.
And then all of the all set 6 will be legal for this too.
Set 6 is legal.
So I kind of like, coming from an NA standpoint now. Mm-hmm. I kind of like how the EU are the guinea pigs of the format.
Yes.
We get to watch them and see what works and what doesn't work.
Definitely going to be learning from.
But there's a lot of smart players in the EU, mm-hmm. which we'll get to in a little bit because we got more competitive stuff to touch on.
All right.
So yeah, that's kind of the breakdown, and then I do believe we know what prizing is.
Yes, for the championship.
For the Continental.
For Continental Championship.
Right. So participation is a invited to the ball full art promo.
Okay. Well, that is very cute, very on theme.
Yes.
I'm here. We don't have the cameras on, but I am beaming with appreciation of that.
Yes, absolutely. Top 32 mm-hmm. will get a full art Elsa's Palace.
Oh, okay.
And I will say that the artwork on this thing is immaculate.
I was about to say.
I love it.
Not a card mechanically that I love, but that artwork is incredible.
It's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, all of the artwork really has been a cut above, I would say, especially when they're doing these sort of prizings. They are beautiful to behold.
Beautiful.
But this one, it stands out.
I'm very excited to see one with the special foiling on it. Mm-hmm. Because the foiling that they do for the DLC stuff is so nice.
Oh, really?
It is pretty.
Oh, nice.
I love the card Elsa's Palace, by the way.
Okay. Maybe I'm just using it wrong.
Maybe... I haven't used it since the last sealed event that I did from the last set.
Fair enough.
But that card won me so many games because you
I believe you.
You can't remove it.
Sure you can. I mean, it only has like the 4 willpower.
Sure.
Okay.
If you get to run into it.
Sure. Sure. And that may have been part of it, was the one time that I tried playing it, the person I was playing against, it seemed like half of their cards had location removal on it. Just
sure.
Not even I have to challenge into it.
Sure.
Just
Understand.
Along Came Zeus.
Right.
Or Rise of the Titans.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just throwing those down. It's like, alright, why are we here?
Great card.
Yeah.
Great card.
It is a great card.
Okay.
Speaking of great cards.
Yes.
I see what's next on that prize schedule.
Yes.
And that's what I was going to say. Speaking of artwork standing out, really popping.
Top 16 gets the
Wow.
Cusco. The Emerald Cusco that hasn't been around since set 1.
Hey.
I love it.
I'm letting you know now. It's in one of my decks I built this morning.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited to see it. And I absolutely agree with you. This card looks amazing.
It's
very Cusco.
It is.
Very Cusco.
Yes.
Let's talk about my favorite.
Well, and that's what I was about to ask. Is your favorite that next card, or is it still part of that top 16 that we're looking at? Because I believe
Both?
It almost looks like similar artwork. Or yeah, it's the same. Okay. Sorry, I'm brand new to this information.
No, you're fine.
Go ahead.
Is this the first time you've seen these?
I think maybe you had sent me the image beforehand.
Okay.
But
yeah.
I didn't get a good look at it.
Sure.
Yeah.
The Baymax.
But that's a Baymax playmat.
Yes, that is
that you get for top 16, but you don't get the card until top 8.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
So at top 16, you get the Baymax playmat,
and
you get 4 boxes of Azurite Sea plus the Cusco.
Right.
And then top 8 you get all of that.
Right. I mean, everything stacks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then we got the Baymax card.
That Baymax card looks amazing.
I love this thing. It is so nice.
Yeah.
Shout out to the artist on that one. Great job.
Yes.
Love it. And then we got top 4.
Top 4, that golden Mickey. That's
the golden Mickey that everybody's been chasing. You'll get one. You're gonna get one.
Oh yeah, sure.
You're gonna get one. He's gonna get one. Everybody, don't listen to him.
Yeah.
And then the finalist gets a full set of Azurite Sea. I think it's just
a full master set.
I think it's a master.
One
set.
copy of every card.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And then
which I mean is nothing to sneeze at.
Right. But then if you win your finals, you
Yeah.
get a play set of the entire set.
Oh my goodness. And especially, again, that's on top of everything else that we have listed off.
Right.
You know, that's
crazy.
It really is, to the winner goes the spoils.
Yes. Absolutely. As it should be, right?
I mean, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, yes. Yes, you should be rewarded for doing well.
Right.
No, I disagree.
I was waiting for it.
Yeah.
I
gotta have some controversy in this.
I think that these prizing should be in reverse.
Everybody that shows up should get a full play set.
The only person.
And then, as you do on better, here's whatever else
so the very last person gets invited to the ball, which is an invitation to Worlds.
There we go.
Nailed it.
I say now, right? We skipped over that, but we do have it on that graphic. The top 8, in addition to that Baymax card, that is where you get your invite to Worlds. Looks like.
Yes, top 8. You get invited to the world. I didn't even see the ticket. I didn't see that.
You were too distracted by Baymax.
It's my eye patch, man. I told you.
Right.
I told you the eye patch is throwing me off. No, yeah, absolutely. So that's good.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. It's going to be a good time.
Yes. I am looking forward to watching a lot of that.
You know what I think? I think we should have a watch party.
Ooh. Maybe. This is all during the December 6th through the 8th, I believe.
I do believe you are correct.
So we should be able to organize at least some time during that weekend.
Sure.
To get together and, figure something out.
Absolutely. It's going to be a good time. We could throw it up on the big TV.
Oh, yeah.
And we can watch it on Twitch.
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
There we go.
All right. And then,
okay, so here's more information.
This is the last chance qualifiers. All right.
So this is happening before that.
Yes.
This is your last chance, if you're in Europe, to get into the Europe Continentals.
Right. So you have... so you get one ticket. You get to buy one ticket for... The Europe one is obviously in euros. So it looks like 90 euros.
90 euro.
For a ticket. And when you purchase your ticket, you choose if you want to play in the AM block or the PM block. We have...
at 8:30, at 8:30, doors will open for the AM block.
Right.
And then at 9 is when they're starting the tournament.
Correct. And then the PM block the doors will open back up at 14:30. And it will start at 1500. Each slot's gonna have 16 flights. I'm guessing that's pods.
Okay, I was about to ask if that's.
And it's going to be 32 player single elimination tournaments.
So
if you lose round 1, you're done.
Right, which I mean, fair enough.
Go get yourself
go get yourself a nice
qualifier. Yeah. Go get yourself a nice breakfast.
So where is it?
Where is...
Do we know that, or is that on a further slide?
It's on a further slide. Okay. Oh, here we go. The ticket will also include a seat in the Friday LCQ, a goodie bag, and a spectator badge to a Saturday session.
Oh, nice. Okay.
The ticket holder may choose.
So there's over 1,000 seats or tickets available for that last chance qualifier.
Right.
Out of that, 1,024 potential seats that you can go get a ticket for 90 euro.
Yes.
32 of them will pass along to the tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good guess. Your math is mathin'.
Yeah, well, I'm not even doing the math. I'm just reading it.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
So, the LCQ format is core constructed with single elimination best of 3. So...
Okay, so you're doing 5 rounds.
Yes. So
single elimination.
Right.
And round 1, losers go to the first side event.
Right.
So it's not like you're done for the day. You know, it's not like you lose your first round and you go get a crepe.
No. I love crepes.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love crepes as well.
But we like Lorcana more. Yes, absolutely. So these are just... Yes, you are correct. I read that wrong.
Right.
Prizes. Each player participating in the LCQ will receive a Dragonfire promo.
Okay. So it's like doing
a
it's
DLC.
Like if you went to the DLC.
Right. Yep. Each winner of the pod will qualify for the main event. And receive the spectator portion of the LCQ ticket refunded. So that's nice.
Okay.
So 90 euro looks like it covers for a chance to qualify and the spectator portion.
Right.
And so if you don't get one, you still have the other.
Yes.
So if you don't get in, you can still watch.
Exactly.
Essentially. But if you get in, then you get refunded for that because you're participating.
Right.
Definitely makes sense. And then, obviously, if you're already qualified, you can't participate. Sorry
to that seems rude.
Yeah, sorry to all their dream crushers out there. So here's the side events that you
let's talk about side events.
Yeah, sure. So this first side event All participate are automatically registered for a 2-round of core constructed play, 2 game matches, 3 boosters per game win.
Okay. 3 boosters per game win.
Right.
Okay, so that's not... Right, that's not for a match. That's... If
Per
you lose
game.
round 1, you go off to the side.
Yes.
You do best of 2 with another first round loser.
Yes.
Best of 2, if you win one of those, you get 3 packs. If you get both of those, you win 6 packs.
That would be how I interpret it.
Okay.
That's how I also interpret it.
And then you're done for the day.
And then
to go get a crate.
And then you can go get your crate.
Right.
Because you'll probably be hungry at that point.
I would assume.
I'm hungry all the time.
Pretty much.
The second side event.
Mm-hmm.
Participate to exit the LCQ after round 2. Alright, so structure of this one 1 round of gameplay, core constructed, 2 game matches. Winner of each game receives 6 packs, up to 12 can be won.
Now, it's interesting, and I don't know where we got this graphic from.
Sure.
But it's interesting, at least to me, that this one specifies that it is Azurite Sea booster packs.
Okay.
Rather than the first side event just being 3 boosters per game win.
I'm sure that it's going to be Azurite Sea.
I'm sure as well. You know what I mean? But it was just...
It does leave it in question.
Right.
I'll take the first
Question everything. That's a lesson to you kids out there. Question everything.
Yes, I think Benjamin Franklin once said that.
Yeah.
Smart guy.
If he didn't, he should have.
Is he true? The Turbo
Zone.
This is where I need to be at.
Yeah.
Because we're always...
You better watch out in the Turbo Zone.
Yeah. Things go fast. All right, so the Turbo Zone.
King Candy gonna get you.
This is the first time I've actually read about this. So let's
Yeah.
The Turbo Zone is the Disney Lorcana experience for attendees. Sit down at a table, redeem your vouchers with a judge to play a best of 3 against an opponent, and make your game choice. Pack Rush, core constructed, 4-player multiplayer. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So you get to choose what sort of game you want to do.
Yes.
Okay, so 2 turbo vouchers are included in the attendee package, and then 3 extra vouchers are given to round 3 players of each LCQ.
Sure.
So if you don't lose round 1 and go to side event 1,
right.
And if you don't lose round 2 and go to side event 2, if you make it through those first 2 rounds, you're getting 3 extra turbo vouchers.
Sure.
Then you can go and spend those to go play either Pack Rush,
Core constructed,
4-player
4-player multiple,
multiplayer.
This is amazing.
Okay.
All right. So you played a bit of Pack Rush.
Yeah, I actually just last night, my wife Amber and I, we played a quick game of Pack Rush while we were opening our boxes. It's very fun.
It's very
fun.
I'm a fan.
It's very different from everything.
Yes.
Even like we talked a lot about Sealed earlier. Mm-hmm. Even so different from that.
Right.
Because
you start with 2 ink.
You start with 2 ink.
You start with 5 cards in your hand.
You start with 5 cards. You're only going to 15 lore.
Yes.
The surprise factor.
You don't know what you got.
Huge.
You don't know what you got.
For us.
Yes.
Because, yeah, the trepidation of, hey, what if the card I'm about to draw turns out to be an enchanted?
Right.
You know? It didn't happen for us.
Right.
Which is good. Sure. We found one later on, thankfully. It was really neat.
Uh-huh. So, real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
So from my experience of watching people play Pack Rush in Seattle when I was judging it, I noticed that. So because I take some time to watch what's going on, you know.
Right.
Because I genuinely was curious because I've never seen it before.
Yes.
So I watched the players. They took the token cards out and put them into their inkwell as you should, right? And then they took the very back card which would be in the enchanted slot, or the
Mhm.
foil slot.
Right.
And they would lift them up and then show them to their opponent to make sure that it's not an enchanted.
Okay.
That way they don't mess their card.
Right.
Because if it is an enchanted, then you just...
don't want to just, like, be
then you just
shuffling it.
right. Then you just sleeve them up really quick.
Yeah.
And then play. And nobody has an issue with that. So that's just a bit of information for the people that are listening.
Right.
If they've never experienced Pack Rush and they have a, they're like, they have the same thought.
That makes a lot more sense as well.
Just
because we were very gingerly shuffling.
Yes, as you should. There was a gentle, I think it was a gentle fella in Vegas that was riffle shuffling his Pack Rushes and found out he has an enchanted in it, and he was very upset.
Yeah.
But so back into the
back to this.
Yes, back to this.
So Pack Rush is an option. Core constructed. We all know core constructed.
Pretty self-explanatory on that one.
And then 4-player multiplayer.
I'm excited for that.
Man,
have you played multiplayer games?
Just a little bit, and it was like right at the very beginning. Like we're talking first chapter.
Yeah.
Multiplayer.
Sure.
Haven't gone back since. The idea of especially sitting down with, potential strangers or people you just met at the tournament. It's like, hey, you guys all want to get together and do a multiplayer game? Let's have some fun.
Yeah.
Like that makes me happy.
Yeah, absolutely. It's crazy because like I have never been I've been to I've been to 3 of them. Chicago, Fort Worth, and Seattle, and Vegas. So I've been to 4.
Right.
And out of all of those times that I've been, I have never seen a person there having a bad time.
Yes.
Which is great. Everybody's just having fun. The side event area is packed. The main event area is packed. Everybody's just having a good time.
Right.
Having a good time with what they like to do.
Yes.
So I would very much be interested in playing in a 4-player multiplayer spot.
Yeah.
It would be a lot of fun.
And so, you make your choice as far as what type of game you want to play.
Right.
And then, in addition to that, looks like each player, no matter what choice you pick, each player gets 2 boosters, a non-foil Kuzco and a non-foiled Baymax.
Right.
And then if you're doing Pack Rush or the Core Constructed, if you win that, you get another 2 booster packs.
Right.
And if you're doing the multiplayer and win, you get an additional 4.
Yes.
Alright.
So we're playing multiplayer.
I mean,
we're high rolling.
We're not going, but
we're high rolling.
Yeah.
What do you mean we're not going? You don't want to go to Paris with me?
Listen.
Listen. It's not that I don't want to go.
Yeah.
So that was the Turbo Zone.
That's the Turbo Zone.
Yeah. So if you can't go, which we can't,
we cannot.
But we can enjoy this from the comforts of our own home without getting
on.
And we will. And we don't have to get on the plane.
That's right.
And we can. It looks like they're streaming it in multiple different languages too, which is great for the community.
Yes, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
I do. What's the deal, Disney Lorcana? The Italians don't get their own official Disney Lorcana stream?
They do. It's in Italian.
Well, yeah, but English is in Disney Lorcana, and French is in Disney Lorcana EU.
I see what you're saying.
And German is in Disney Lorcana DE, which is, I assume, Deutsch.
Yes.
And then Italian is Fanfinity 2.
Fanfinity.
They couldn't even get the regular Fanfinity. That's
Fanfinity and beyond.
That's not until 2 years from now.
They're living in the future, man.
Fair enough.
They're living in the future.
Fair enough.
But it looks like it's going to be at the Disney Newport Bay Club is where all of these wonderful events are going to be taking place at.
Yes. They're in France.
Yes.
Yes.
So yeah, that was but that's all the information on that.
On the Euro Continentals.
Cross Continentals coming up.
Yeah.
So we have a nice NA versus EU event.
Ooh.
What do you think?
Well, so tell me more about it, because I know very little about this one.
All right, so.
And we don't have an amazing graphic to go off of.
We don't have one on.
At least not on the screen.
We don't have one on the screen
share.
for the viewers to see, but we do have a nice graphic in front of us here.
Yes.
It looks like we have 4 rounds of Swiss, plus cut to top 4 probably.
Right, and this is all starting
this week.
A little bit of inside baseball for the audience.
Yes.
We are recording this the night of the 17th.
Yes.
So round 1 looks like it's supposed to kick off tomorrow.
It is going to be tomorrow. So by the time you hear this, it would have already been done.
Right.
Arr. And then it looks like they're going to do best of 3 rounds. 55-minute rounds, which is pretty standard. 1 round per 3 to 4 days, depending on the players' schedules. Because keep in mind, we are NA and they are EU.
Right. So, we're talking. It's I believe a 6-hour time.
Yeah, something like that.
6 to 8 hour time difference, depending on where everybody's at.
Right. And if a player cannot participate in a round, the team captain chooses a replacement for them from the reserves. So they have 3 reserves per team, it looks like.
Yes.
So the reserve player has to use the deck of the player that they replaced.
Okay.
So you have to get the deck list from...
That makes sense.
Yes,
You know,
I very much agree. So it looks like... And we don't know exactly if these are the rounds that we have here, but we do have the top picks for both Team North America and Team Europe.
Yes.
So on the American side, we have Zan Syed, who is the captain. He won DLC Vegas. So then we got Zach Bivens is the second. Brennan DeCandio, Kendall Burdett, but you know him as actual No I'm Not. Dale Bolito, Sailor. Sailor's a very good player. He plays red-blue. He's a red-blue.
I was saying, most of the NA names I recognize just from seeing on like Twitter. DLC finalists and Blue Sky, on Twitter, I guess.
Yeah. R&B. He's a Blue Steel player. Jonathan Lamb, also known as Lamb Chops.
Okay.
And then those are our 8 NA players, and then our reserves are Aaron Rubin, Diego Saz, or level 9001, and Edmund Chu.
Okay.
Team EU. We have Moyen, who is their team captain.
Right.
Great guy, by the way. I love Moyen.
Okay.
He's a very good guy. Artabax. I like Artabax too. He's a guy that you might look into. He plays a lot of Emerald Amethyst.
Okay.
Very good player. Very
Interesting.
Good. Frank Karsten. I think that's supposed to say Kawa. On number 4, he's an Irish guy.
Okay.
Number 5, one of my personal favorites, Ding Kong Pham.
Okay.
Very good player. I played against him, and he's a blue-red player.
That sounds right. Yeah.
He and I played against each other in Fort Worth.
Okay.
And day 1 of Swiss, I was the only person to take a game off of him.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I was playing Jafar Wheel. Number 6, Earlmeister.
Okay. That's a name I do recognize for sure.
He's been doing a lot of content creating, and he's doing a great job at it too. Highly recommend his channel for anybody listening.
And that's definitely something that I personally, both for me and I think for a lot of the North American Lorcana players, it's very much an invite into the other side of the world.
Yes.
You know, there's a lot of really good players.
Yes.
In Europe, a lot of really good, really engaging players making content, talking about decks, all of that and everything, and being able to see across on both sides.
Right.
You know,
It's a glimpse across the ocean.
Exactly.
Yeah. Number 7. I'll let you go ahead and pronounce that one.
Number 7 looks like that is Buonasera. 8th, we've got
Theotime.
Bucat? The show?
Bucat, I think is the name.
I apologize for both of us.
I also apologize. I do not know. Reserves number 1.
Reserves for Euro.
Yeah. Number 1 is a name we all recognize. Joe Spessy Curley.
Okay. Yeah.
Spessy. He's a good guy. And then number 2 is Alphos. I met Alphos in Seattle.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a fun guy too. And then number 3 is Reese Kayoshi Benleer.
Okay.
Benleer.
I say, and all of this is going to be streamed somewhere.
It's gonna be on Twitch for sure.
And again, you probably have more information about it than we do by the time that you're hearing us.
Right. It does look like some outliers here. So we got the 4 rounds cut to top 4, best of 3, 55 minutes. 1 round per 3 to 4 days, depending on schedule. We got all that.
Right.
The replacements is what the reserves are for.
Yes. Looks like they are going to be taking a break
during the EU
championship, which entirely understandable.
Is it?
I think so.
This is war.
Yeah, well, we take breaks during war too.
I guess. Only to play football.
Well, I mean...
Oh, football.
Sure.
It's funny.
I do love, absolutely, it is stipulated within the rules for this tournament. It's something you and I have talked a lot about on off mic.
Yes. Hit me with it.
Intentional draws.
I don't like
are not allowed within this tournament.
I like that in this tournament.
That, again, makes me very happy.
I didn't hear no bell.
That's right.
Yes, absolutely. I personally don't like IDs.
Right. We've talked about it. If we're there to play Lorcana, let's play Lorcana.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
don't care if we can draw the next 4 rounds and I don't care if we can draw the next 4 rounds and get in and we both get into whatever.
Right.
We're playing.
Yeah.
Hey, that's just the way it is.
Yes.
I paid to play, and that's what I'm gonna do.
Yes. Agreed.
Agreed. So let's talk about the deck list real quick.
Yeah. So set 6.
Set 6 will be legal for this tournament.
Totally legal.
Totally, all of them.
Yep.
All the microbots.
Now, just because set 6 is out, I mean, I'm not one of these players, obviously.
Nor am I.
Let's say I am.
Sure.
Right? Let's say I'm one of those players, and darn, I'm not able to go pick up my set 6 cards yet. Good news.
Yes.
Because proxies are allowed.
Proxies are allowed. So there's no excuses.
No excuses.
No excuses to not play the
right.
good stuff.
You better be playing A Very Merry Unbirthday.
So here's the other thing that's really cool about this said tournament.
Oh, yeah?
During the Swiss rounds, players may change up to 10 cards of their deck between rounds without changing the deck colors that they started with.
Okay.
So it's kind of like... How do you feel about that?
I like that a lot, I think.
I like it at the start of the meta.
Right.
I like
that. Because this is starting so fast right out the gate with the set 6 release. Very much. I really like it in theory.
Yes.
We'll see as it goes.
Sure.
How much that matters.
You can really get a feel for if a card is good or not
Right.
within the first couple minutes of playing a deck.
The one thing that makes me sort of concerned about it, and that's just because I don't know exactly how they have it set up. You know, because, well, actually, how about we go ahead and just read off that next bullet point before I sound very silly. Because right after that, about changing cards, looks like deck lists have to be submitted before the next round is paired up.
Yes.
That answers my exact problem that I had. I had not read that rule. So I was very concerned, because you know what I mean? Like, if I know for a fact that the next one that I'm going up against is, you know, a certain deck or whatever,
sure,
then yeah, I'm going to be pulling this card and maybe throwing in Twin Fire instead. Or,
I love that card.
Oh, Twin Fire is great.
I love that card.
It could be better?
Yes.
It could be better, but it's a great card as it is.
Yes, it's a very good card.
Yes.
But
you know what I mean? Like,
yes.
Because they have that stipulation of deck lists must be in before you know for sure who it is you're playing.
Right.
I feel a lot better about being able to swap out cards.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah, that absolutely makes sense. So that would... That definitely makes sense. If you have a heads up of what you might be playing against next,
right,
then you can kind of swap to tech your... But your opponent can also do the same thing.
Right.
So they can throw curveballs, you know, like...
it's a whole other...
It's
a whole other game.
I think
we could talk more about that.
I think I'm actually more excited for this now than what I was at the initial talk of it.
Okay.
Because, like, this can get wonky.
I think it will get very wonky.
And I'm here for it.
Yes.
I like chaos.
Exactly.
I'm wearing an eye patch.
I've noticed.
I have too.
So that is the Cross Continental Challenge.
Yes.
So that's one of the big tournaments that's coming up. And it's like a long, widespread thing. It's not like one crazy weekend.
It's not going to be
the
one
way
weekend.
that the Euro Continentals are.
Oh no.
So we've got those coming up. We've got that. There is the other tournament that we talked about, Charlie's 8K. That is coming up soon.
That is available to see on Twitter and Facebook if you type into the search thing the Charlie's Collectible Game Shop.
Charlie's Collectible Game Shop.
Yeah, you can find all the information there.
Right.
There is something I want to touch on.
Okay.
We have a 1K coming up.
Yes.
In Kansas City.
Kansas City.
Which...
We're coming to your town.
We are coming to Kansas City. Which is on Sunday the 29th.
Mm-hmm.
The 29th of December. I should have specified. December 29th.
Right.
Not this month.
So December 29th, right in that temporal gray zone between Christmas and New Year's.
Right.
Where kind of nothing and everything happens at once.
Yes.
There's a 1K in Kansas City.
There's a 1K in Kansas City. And so you can see in the bottom right of this flyer, it says register here. That is a QR code. If you are interested in participating in this, scan that bad boy and let's get you registered, signed up. DLC promo Dragonfire for door prizes, so that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
So who knows? You might walk out with a DLC promo if you haven't been able to go to a DLC.
You definitely could.
Pretty neat.
$40 entry.
$40 entry.
Is by no means a steep price.
It's dope. The format
looks like we're doing best of 3.
Best of 3, core constructed best of 3. Set 6 will be legal.
Excellent. And that is at the Geekery.
That is at the
Kansas City.
Geekery in Kansas City, and the Sunflower Illumineers.
Or I guess the Kansas City metro area, to be more accurate.
Coverage will be we will be covering it.
That's right.
We will be live streaming it out of the Geekery, and you can watch that at twitch.tv/Brohammington.
Yes.
That will take you there.
We will be there. We will be live. We will be commentating.
And I might be playing or I might be judging. I don't know yet.
Yeah.
So we'll find out about that, but it will be a good time for sure.
Yes.
We're going to be in Kansas City.
Exactly.
If you lose round 1, go buy a crepe.
Or
a barbecue.
Sure. You're in Kansas City. Go buy a barbecue crepe.
Well, why not? Why not? And then yeah, so that is that one. I do want to go over to the TCG player link that we have here.
Yes.
This is very helpful. If Set 6 just released, everybody. So if you do plan on buying singles, buying products, sleeves, deck boxes, that sort of stuff, and TCG Player is the place you want to go. They have a great selection of everything. Make sure you scan that QR code. It will take you there. That way you can use the affiliate link that I have. And that goes to help the channel and helps us keep making content.
And we're also going to have that affiliate link in the description,
yes.
I assume.
Yes.
Just in case you're having any trouble with that QR code.
Right.
We should have a link for that in the description.
Right.
Hopefully a link for that Kansas City 1K at the Geekery.
Yes, we will.
In the description.
We should also be able to put the Melee link for that into the description as well.
Right.
So
we want to have those in there.
Right.
But yeah, that affiliate link. Anything to help support the channel.
Right.
Help support the channel. You know.
Absolutely.
If it's hitting that like button. If it's smashing subscribe, ringing that bell so you get notifications every time we post one of these amazing videos we do.
Absolutely. You don't ever get to see two handsome guys wearing an eye patch and a sailor hat in the same room.
That's right. Well, you know.
I mean, maybe you do.
Well,
when you watch,
we don't need to go down that route.
Come to find out, wearing an eye patch kind of throws my my clicking capabilities off a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, this is but yeah, so Set 6 is now legal. Set 6 is now out. In a couple weeks it'll be legal. We've had tournaments where it'll be legal. We've talked a lot about Set 6.
I love Set 6.
We've talked a lot about kind of your favorite cards, especially like in sealed and all that. Is there a I think maybe just kind of a last question.
Sure.
Here for you, and then we can start trying to wrap this up.
Ooh, a nice cliffhanger.
So I want to know, not counting microbots, not counting yokai.
He's taking all the good cards away from me.
What is your favorite card from Set 6?
Favorite card from Set 6, not including yokai, microbots.
Mm-hmm.
So you're taking all the flavor out of Set 6.
Yeah, all of the flavor. 2 cards.
My favorite card out of Set 6 without those 2 is going to have to be... I like the 6-drop Jasmine.
The 6-drop Jasmine.
The legendary Jasmine, when you play her, you bounce all other characters to the owner's hands.
Yes.
I really like that because I want to play it with Maleficent Staff.
So it's funny you said Maleficent Staff.
Oh, because you made that too.
Because that was going to be my answer for...
Great minds.
Not counting, like, Basil.
Sure.
Or... I guess the teapot.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Like, not counting those cards that I've already talked about. Maleficent Staff is probably my most excited card.
That card's very good.
If for no other reason, right?
Uh-huh.
And maybe this is me just being a little bit of a... Maybe just a bit of a little stinker.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
I started throwing down those Maleficent Staffs. I'm pretty willing to bet I'm going to start seeing a whole lot less snakes and rabbits on the other side of the board.
You really don't like those, do you? I like it.
I'm not saying, you know, that I'm not saying they don't have their place. I'm saying their place is maybe out of the meta for a little bit. And Maleficent Staff maybe just will remind them of that. You know, just encourage bounce players to maybe just take a rest for a little bit.
Hey, chill.
Just calm down.
Go stand in the corner.
That's right.
Go stand in the corner for a little bit. No, I very much agree. I think that Maleficent Staff is a very good card. Yeah, it's
that was the one card that my wife and I we pulled all of our cards last night.
Right.
That's the one card after organizing this morning that I went, okay, I need to go buy singles of that like this week.
Sure.
Because
that's going to be a very good card.
Stonk's going up.
Is it a rare?
It's a rare.
It's a rare. I might have one for you. We'll talk off.
We'll talk off mic.
Yeah. But
yeah.
It's been a great time.
It's been a real great time. Very much already really happy with where the game's at now.
Yes.
Definitely looking forward to the next couple months.
Yes. There's a lot of stuff coming up.
A lot of stuff coming up. Already. Yeah, just very excited for moving forward.
Yeah.
You know, having fun with this current set.
Absolutely.
Set release weekend is always
I think
a great time.
I think that the floodgates are about to open up on the meta too.
I really think so.
I think we're starting to get enough of a card pool to where you're starting to see different variations of color combinations.
Yes.
As well as new color combinations that could potentially be very viable.
Hey, you never know.
I know that if you follow me on Twitter, I've posted 3 or 4 deck lists over the weekend.
Okay.
That deck list where I'm going to start off at with red-blue with Maui Shark.
Mm-hmm.
Blue-green, like a ramp discard thing with Basil, Clarabelle, and Lucky Dime. And then, of course, Microbots.
Yeah.
I posted that list online, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, just different stuff. I'm always posting lists online. So, make sure that you follow me on there,
I need to start posting more in general.
Yeah.
Online.
Or just retweeting.
Yeah,
or
sure.
Something.
Being more active.
Sure.
I like a lot.
Yeah, you do.
I do that.
Yeah, you should. But so make sure that you follow. Make sure you follow myself, Brohammington, and
Jester Dujour
on Twitter.
On Twitter, you can follow me on Twitter. I'm still technically there.
Sure.
I am on Twitter significantly less than I am on Blue Sky.
Sure. I'm also on Blue Sky.
Same username.
Same username for me.
Same username there. Find us on Blue Sky, on Twitter. Those are the two main things.
Two big ones.
Also on follow Brohammington on Twitch.
On Twitch, we're gonna.
That's where a lot of our videos wind up.
That we are going to be making a lot of magic this week.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of magic. Lots of microbots. Microbots are going to be everywhere this week.
It's going to be great.
We're going to have a good time.
It's going to be great. But yeah, I think that does it for us.
I think so as well.
So yeah, again, I've been Jesse or Jester Dujour.
Ken, Brohammington.
And this has been another episode of the Sunflounder Chronicles, a Disney Lorcana podcast.
What? Have a good day, everyone.